Good morning and welcome to the pre-market live show. It is Thursday, December 24th. It's Christmas Eve. Can you believe it's Christmas Eve? And the heat map changed over from yesterday and it's literally just flat. AVGO, AMD, Meta, and Tesla are up. Everything else and UNH that we were looking at last night and everything else is basically flat. CVX is up. I think that's Chevron. Chevron is up, and I'm telling you, them oil and gas ones are looking good. So here we go. Let's just roll through, look, see what's going on for Christmas Eve. The market does close at 1 p.m. today, so it is an early close tomorrow for Christmas, and it will be back for Thursday and Friday. So all information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only. It's not intended as financial advice, so always do your due diligence. And how is everybody this morning? I hope everyone's ready for Christmas and the holidays. And let's just get cruising. Like I said, that is a flat heat map. I mean, it is just sitting there flat. But the ones that are doing something are kind of green. The only one down is Coca-Cola. It looks like KO, and it's down 21 cents. And actually, that one's going to be looking really good. So we might have to keep our eye on Coca-Cola as well, because that's starting to set up right there as I just click on it. So let's get cruising through. It's just dipping down here. But like I said, it might hit this 61 again yesterday. Coca-Cola was looking good down at that 61.53 area. So we'll have to keep an eye on that Coca-Cola right there because that can be a good runner. But let's go ahead and look at our Jolie's jumpers and then see what's going on. So here we go, everybody. Let's look at them. Let's look at Agrify real quick, see what that's up to. AGFY. And we'll see that one actually took a nice dip yesterday. It could have been a little dip and rip situation. Look, is what it kind of looks like. It's not doing anything today with 35.06 up to 36 and down to 30, 30.09, and it closed at 35.79. It closed up higher than it opened, and looks pretty good right there with that dip. So again, they do like to dip and rip right now. That is a common pattern. So AISP, we were all over this bad boy early. That is that Airship AI Holdings, and it is up this morning more. It's in the sixes now. AISP, and like I said, we were super early yesterday. Went 477 to 590, and then today 599 to 632. It's at 606, and it is looking pretty strong up there. It's still in the top, so that is AISP. AMBA, that Amber, what is it, Amberella? This thing's running up, and we've been looking at it. AMBA looking good. So this thing's curling up, looking solid. So keep your eye on that. We've been looking at that in the pre-market show, and that's a semiconductor equipment and material company. So keep your eye on AMBA. And our good old Blink, let's see what Blink is doing. Blink charging. This is just getting set up in the right spot now. It's about to get moving. Probably not today, and obviously not tomorrow because the market's not open. But possibly Thursday or Friday, it could be getting in the right spot. We'll keep an eye on it. We always look at it. So BLNK, that Blink charging, could be getting in the right spot to do a nice popper. So keep an eye on Blink. BNOX. This one is reverse splitting. Maybe today. It did yesterday. It is today, 1 for 12. So we'll have to keep an eye on this bad boy for sure. BNO. Oh, wait, hold on. That was a totally different one. I don't even know what just came up. I'm looking at something totally different. Well, let's look at NEUP. I have no idea. I swear I just typed in BNOX and this came up. And but this one's reverse splitting, so maybe I'll jot this down. NEUP, and then the other side was still Blink. So let me bring up this NEUP. I have no idea where this thing came at. It doesn't even say it's on here on mine, and that was bizarre. Unless, hold on, unless BNOX. Yeah, it is NEUP. That's why. I guess they changed names. That's what's going on here. So mine will probably still might come up BNOX. Maybe they're doing a name change right now. No, mine's not coming up with anything. So yeah, that's the only gray area on the Trend Spider. If they change names or reverse split or something weird goes on, they usually show the reverse splits, but I don't know. Says Bionomics announces Supreme Court approves Bionomics Demon conciliation. So I guess they are going to be doing something there. Yeah, I'll have to look at this thing. But yeah, that was just bizarre because I knew I was like, I thought I typed in BNOX and all of a sudden I'm looking at NEUP. And so yeah, it looks like it changed its stock ticker. We'll have to keep an eye on that BNOX, which is now NEUP. And I'll take a look at it later. CHEK, that check, that one's moving up. This is one that we recently looked at, CHEK, and that had a huge run yesterday, 60 cents to 326, and then it went 225 to 237 today, all the way down to 160 at 190. I didn't even see that run up yesterday. But that went from basement to top like immediately. What did that do yesterday? What happened? Doesn't even say any news. I have no idea. Something had to have happened for that to run like that, but doesn't say anything. But that's CHEK. It does. I mean, let me look at it again. $1.90. I don't know. You have to be careful. Make sure it's getting back into the twos and has some momentum after that run up and pull back. And that's CHEK. And then CREV is Carbon Revolution Public, CREV. And this thing also ran up really good yesterday, $3 to 13, and back it's closed at 570. And now today it opened at 859, ran up to 1054, and it's back to 570. So it does like that. Yesterday closed at 780. I'm sorry, I must have pulled off. So yesterday, $3 to 13, closed at 780. Its low is 260. That's a pretty big run right there. So yeah, I'm not so sure it's going to do anything today. It doesn't really look like it pulling back, but that Krev was a really good runner right there. And how about DJT? It looked like it was pulling back a little. It looked like it had that little pullback look, but I'm telling you, I think it's going to get that nasty curl up and get cruising, especially how fun Rumble and everything else are. So keep your eye on it. I know it had some news yesterday that Trump transferred $4 billion stake in Trump Media to a trust amid stock volatility. So just be careful, and we'll see what's going on with that bad boy. But that just happened the other day, and yeah, it's just had that little pullback look, but it still looked pretty good right there. So your 20s coming up, your 50s coming up, and it looks like it wants to curl up and get cruising for whatever reason. At the same time, it's pulling back the MACD, so that's why I'm saying it looks like it's going to make that hard curl up and get rocking and rolling. So we'll keep an eye on that DJT and see what's up with it after that big money transfer right there. And DRCT, let's see, DRCT, Direct Digital Holdings. This one's been running up here. It ran up yesterday. I know that. And it went from 56 cents to 845. And then today, 679 to 840. It's at 639 right now. So DRCT, look at that blast off one. That was a crazy one right there. Blasted right off. Drug. Keep this on a bright mind because it's bright mind science, biosciences, and this thing's going to get cruising, guys. I'm telling you, I wish it had options because it's going to get rocking and rolling up there again. And DXYZ, this one just a little bit of pullback, but nothing crazy. It was run up yesterday there, and it probably will continue to run up. So it's very bullish. If it pulls back, it's only pulling back into that 59 area probably. So it's just been running up. Tiny little pullback there with the market, and now it's running back up, it looks like. And that's DXYZ. And GITS, we've been looking at this the last few days, and what did it do? I think it ran up. It was looking decent. I know we've been looking at it. And 31 down to 28. It's at 30. Yesterday it was 26 to 31. Like I said, we were looking at the last few days, and it's not looking bad, and it is getting set up. It's curling up, trying to get broken through right MACD right there. And it's funny because this is like two different charts that I look at. Mine's under, Finviz is under it. Mine's over the MACD. It looks like two different worlds right here. So I just go by mine, and it looks like it's going to roll and bounce off the MACD. Finviz has it where it still wants to curl through. So I have no idea. I'm going to actually have to pull that one up GITS. I'll have to pull that up on another chart real quick and see what the heck it is because I'm curious of how off that one is. Hold on. Let me just look real quick. I have a stock chart right here or a stock app. I'm sure I can do it. Don't track me. Stay free. And here we go. I don't open it that much, but GITS. Let's see. I have to look at this thing. Where's this chart at? Right here. And what's it look like? Oh, and this one has it. Oh man, of course they say that there's going to be ad free, and then it just comes up with an ad. That one has a curling down, so it must look more like mine because mine has it coming down to the line. All three of them are different, but I'll go with mine and think that it's not crossed down and it's touching over the MACD. That's a crazy one. I definitely have to look up this thing today and just see what that chart looks like because I'm telling you, they're all different. I just looked at three different ones and they're completely different right there. So I'm gonna go with my trend spider and say it's pretty accurate. And and it looks like right now it's over the MACD trying to bounce up. The RSI is just pulling back, but it looks a little healthy. So nothing crazy. GITS. So yeah, it's very interesting though. It is up. It says it's up this morning. I have no idea what's going on with that thing. So we'll look at that. HUT, good old Hut. This thing did is trying to bottom out down here, but I think it could go down a little bit more. And again, these crypto ones are just making a ton of room. So keep an eye on them bad boys when they want to get cruising. Crypto wasn't looking too bad. And that LAES is running up some more. It looks like that thing's been a monster. And it went 623 to 690 today. It's at 619. So that thing has been a monster, LAES. And that is a semiconductor in Switzerland. And let's look at MYNA. This one's curling up really nice. This one looks good. MYNA. So I would say that's a solid one. It ran yesterday 42 to 103 and this morning 60 to 65. It's down to 47 already though. I'm telling you, it's so crazy how much things run at 4 a.m. now on the web bull. It is hitting that line and kind of flattening out though. And on FinViz, it looks like it's ready to blast through it. And again, it doesn't even show this morning's trading, and it's just a lot goes on. Has over 2 million in volume already. So that's pretty significant for something like MYNA and a Germany company. It's a lot of trading going on in the morning. I know we've discussed it many times, but it's a different market for sure. NCRA. And yeah, what a different market it has been. And it constantly changes. That's why you always have to be pivoting and paying attention to the trends and staying ahead of everything. 80 cents NCRA, 80 cents to 344 yesterday. And today, 141 to 148, back to 104. So that probably had that big run up yesterday. NCRA. Good old Rivian was pulling back. It's up 11 cents. Let's see if it's trying to get curled back up. It looks like it might be trying to. Let's see. Yeah, it could be trying to curl back up here. It's at 1386. Again, we ran it up to that 15. So see if it gets back up to that resistance area and can get through it. And that's Rivian. And Rumble was running like crazy yesterday. We were going over it. We'd gone over it a few times. And 1299 to 1311. Wait, yesterday it went 1107 to 1463, and today 1299 to 1311. It's at 1289 right now. And Tether or something put a bunch of money into that bad boy yesterday. Rumble jumped after the $775 million Tether deal. So there you go. Tether investing heavily in Rumble. And let's see what that Sezzle's doing. I've been watching this thing. It's just down here at the bottom. I'm getting ready. I'm watching this get ready to try to set up. Just watching it. It looks like that bottom could be that 226 area. What was it over here? 225 is probably what the bottom is. So yeah, it's at 265 right now. So keep an eye on if it can come back down to that line at all. And this one's going to get cruising back up. It should anyway. try to pop back up. So keep an eye on it. It's way down there. I'll be looking at it for that reversal for Sezzle, SEZL, and that is going to be a pretty good one, I think. So just like I said, just watch it and see when it wants to set back up. That Sterling Infrastructure is getting set back up. STRL. This one is at 174 right here. STRL, and it is looking much better. So keep an eye on that one. And SYM. That's Symbiotic. This one is getting set up, and it was up yesterday, I believe. Let me see. I think it was up yesterday. Yesterday, 23rd, 24.26 to 25.61. It was closed at 25.50, and today 25.74 is where it's at. So it's actually up a little bit today, and looking pretty good right there. SYM. That's Symbiotic. And what else we have over here? TIVC. Let's see that Tivic Health. That one jumped up this morning. It looks like TIVC. So you got plenty of poppers. It was running yesterday, 20 to 46. And then 32 to 58. We definitely were looking at this recently too. So we definitely see every popper. That's for sure. And TOVX. That one was running up this morning. I did see it. TOVX, or it was running up yesterday at least, 114 to 298 yesterday, and it opened at 230, went up to 248. It came down to 146, so I did see it. It was up earlier, but there you go. And that is our Jolie's Jumpers on Christmas Eve. So thank you very much, Asian Jolie. Greatly appreciate it. And I don't think we're going to have any laptop lowdowns, but that's okay. We'll just look at Tilray. He was posting about that one, and that's definitely one we've been talking about. Tilray brands, and that one is running up there. TLRY, and it ran up 153 to 173 today. Yesterday, it ran up from 138 to 145, and that is a cannabis brand, stock, and it is cruising up there. So that one we knew was kind of popping up off of that line, and that one's looking good right there. So let me know what you guys want to see this morning. I'll run through the market, see what's going on real quick. If the heat map even changed, it changed over from yesterday. It was just completely flat. A couple of them were green, but that was it. And now it looks like Nvidia, AVGO, and AMD, Google, Meta, and Tesla are a little bit green. So let's just rock and roll through. Looks like Apple might be down a little bit, but let's look at our SPY first and see what that's up to. It is up 89 cents. And again, it does look like it wants to get cruising back up. It's going to be a big old curl. It could kind of dip another time, so we could see another little pullback there on the SPY as it's setting up, especially around these holidays. But I don't even know. It came back up into that channel in the 591. You could see it come back down around there. But it is kind of setting up now, and like I said, it looks like it's going to have one of them big crawl ups and try to get cruising. So let's take a look and see what's going on. Apple is down 7 cents. It's just flat up here and at the top. It looks like it's probably going to try to curl up and get cruising. Oh, I hit Apple instead of or SPY instead of Apple. Hold on, Apple. Here we go. And yeah, it's just flat up here at the top. Let's see what it wants to do. And like I said, it's up here at the top, and it could just curl up, or well, I'll keep an eye on it and keep you posted on it. It looked like it wanted to really curl up yesterday, and now it's just a little flat. It could definitely change around. Amazon's up 42 cents, and that one's trying to curl up. It's just pulling back here on the MACD, and your RSI is trying to pull up right there. So not looking too bad. Let me see here. Yeah, it's just a little pullback, but definitely setting up there. So that is Amazon. And Google, that one's up 54 cents to 196. And this thing does look like it wants to roll off that MACD again and get cruising. So it is a little flat on mine. I mean, it does look good, but it is a little flat. And again, we'll have to see how these kind of open up. It is pretty flat. Meta's up. I'm telling you, this thing's crazy. I'm telling you, Meta is insane right now. Zuckerberg has something crazy going on. We know he did them Ray-Ban glasses or something, but This is when 602 to 603 something, and it's at 603.57. So Meta is up this morning and looking pretty solid. Microsoft probably is pulling back, and yeah, we'd expect that one to pull back right there. So let's see if it wants to make a base and get ready. Nvidia is up 63 cents, and that's a beauty right there. It just crossed through. I'm happy about that one. And let's see Nvidia get popping again some more. So Nvidia is looking hot, and that's a beauty for me because I love them options on Friday. They were looking great. And good old Tesla, that's up 430 this morning. I don't know. It looks like it's pulling back here. Let me see this thing. Tesla. Yeah, I mean, unless it's about to make that really hard curl up, and it probably is. It looks like it wants to pull back, but it could have bottomed out there yesterday for another run up and get up to like 490 something, even higher, and just keep running up. So Tesla does look like it wants to try to run up somehow some more, and I don't doubt it. AMC is just flat right there. But again, these things look like they're setting up all of them. It's just kind of trying to curl up there. It looks like it's making a base and trying to curl. GameStop is just kind of hanging out flat right there, and Chewy is flat. Let's see. Let me bring them up on mine. Actually, Chewy is this today? That's yesterday. So yeah, they are just kind of hanging out there, not doing a whole lot this morning. Is GameStop? GameStop is up a little bit, $30.74 to 30.90. So that's where it's at. So it is up a little. It's curled through and looking pretty good there. So I would say that looks decent. And like I said, AMC is getting set up. So there you go with them bad boys. We'll go through some semiconductors real quick just to see how they look because they were looking good. That AVGO is back up another 5 hours. It's hitting the top. We'll have to see how it reacts when it gets up there. If it wants to get into that top, it could. MU, let's see. This one looks like it might be trying to start off. It is green. It's sitting on that line. I'm telling you, this could make one of them nasty pop-ups and get cruising again. It took a big dip on them earnings, and this thing it is setting up, but it is setting up over time. But it could just pop up there and get cruising MU. So it is a semiconductor one. Keep an eye on it. TSM is down $1, but it just looks like a little pullback right there. Let me see. Yeah, that one doesn't look bad at all. 205 to 206. It's at 206.33. It got up to 208 yesterday. What it close at? It closed at 207. That's why it's like pulled back a little bit, but it does look pretty solid right there. I'm not going to lie for TSM. And let's look at SMCI. That one's just down a penny. It's just kind of setting up right here, trying to make that curl up. So I'll keep an eye on that SMCI. That could be a decent one real soon. And let's look at that AMD because that was looking really good yesterday. I didn't look at it yet this morning, but it's up another $2 right there. And that's a beauty we were talking about. So bam, there you go at AMD. Let's look at that AMDL. AMDL, that's the up 27 cents and still cruising up. Looks like it wants to hit that line and try to cross through. Oh, let me AMDL. And yeah, it looks like it's about to hit the line. It's hitting the line right now and trying to cross through. And AMD looks the same. They look like they can get up to that 131. It's at 126. And AMDL's at 845 and running up there. So that's a beauty right there. AMD looking good. Another one we were all over. And how about Qualcomm QCOM? That's up a little bit this morning. And again, they won their lawsuit against ARM. And that looks like it's going to get into that channel right here, 158, and then get up to that 162. And let's see if ARM, because that one took a nice dip, and yesterday could have been its bottom. I'm going to keep an eye on it and see if it wants to get cruising again. So we'll keep an eye on that ARM. Another good one. It is not a semiconductor, ADBE. software company was way down. Luis Rodriguez kept bringing it up, and it is out of the basement right there and just flat. So keep an eye on that Adobe ADBE. That one seems to be trying to get set back up right there. And another one that I forgot to mention last night that's looking really good. Let's look at Uber. This thing's looking great, guys. So I meant to mention that last night. Uber, we were talking about it on that dip and said it would get set up. And Uber is looking really good right there. So keep an eye on that. It's up a little bit this morning, 61.91 to 62.10, and it's at 62.06. So UBER is looking really good. So keep an eye on that. Let me know what you guys want to look at. And there you go with some market review right there and going through some tickers. Let's see what else we have right here. What's going on the scanner? And like I said, it's pretty flat right there, but at least the ones Mag 7 look pretty up. Microsoft's down a hair, so nothing crazy. And Apple looks like it might be back up like 2%. Nothing crazy there either. Yeah, it's up 8 cents. So like I said, Apple has that look like it wants to get rocking and rolling in this top. I don't know what's going on, but I know I grabbed a few options for it, so hopefully it does rock and roll up there. And but Nvidia is the big one right there. Nvidia rocking and rolling, and AMD, they were the two big ones for this little run up, I thought, and they're both cruising. So happy with that. And that's all you have to do is grab one, maybe two, and trade them really smart. And then, like I said, you start getting a rotation of the next one setting up while these are popping off and you're selling some, and boom, it's just nonstop, just locking them in, setting them up, and locking them in. So we'll get into that rhythm in 2025. And like I told you guys months ago, it would start getting good, and around Halloween, it would get great around and Thanksgiving, and it'd be amazing around Christmas and New Year's. And look where we're at now. It is getting amazing. I'm telling you, we're locking in massive profits. It's what market's running like crazy. Some of these small caps and even these big cap options that we're getting into are just crushing it. So just doing exactly what we wanted it to do. So let me take a look and see what you guys want to look at. I'll look at crypto real quick. Like I said, it didn't look too bad this morning. Bitcoin's still at 94,145. And let me just see what the chart looks like real quick. It is. It doesn't look that great though, honestly. It is pulling back there, so I don't know if it's going to have a huge pullback. It could try to just pull back a little more and then base out here. So we'll see how far Bitcoin actually wants to pull back. I'll keep an eye on it. Ethereum's at 3,400. It's just teetering just under that. And that one is trying to it was trying to curl back up. Now it's like stair stepping back and pulling back, but I think that one could be curling back up soon. So I think you're going to see Bitcoin pull back a little bit more, and some of these other ones could be getting set back up or just bottoming out. Ripple's that 223 at the moment, and let's just see. Ripple is, yeah, it's on the 30 right now, and it's not looking bad. The 10's coming down, so that one looks like it's setting up. Ripple and Solana's at 192, so that's up from yesterday. And again, that one looked like it bottomed out, and that one's going to try to cruise back up. So Solana looks like it's going back up here. So that could have been your big dip. Cardano is down to 89. And that one is basing out and looks like it's going to try to start making that base and move its way up. And that's Cardano, ADA, and Doge is at 32 now. And let's look at it. It is basing out and trying to. It's way down there at the bottom, and just like I said, basing out. They should start trying to move back up. I don't see them dipping down that much harder, and like Bitcoin might pull back a little bit more, but nothing too crazy. Shiba's up a little bit right there, and let's see. Shiba's kind of basing out right there and starting to curl up off of that bottom, so keep an eye on that one. And let's look at Bonk and WIF, BONK. That one is doing the same thing. And that one's actually ahead of them because this one was pulling back early. So this one's making that curl up, and this one could start running off before all of them. So we'll keep an eye on Bonk. It's getting up to that 10, and the 30's curling down. It's an interesting look, but it's in the right channel right there. And then the 10 will curl up, and it'll be really good. So we'll keep an eye on Bonk right there. And WIF. Let's see what that one's doing. It's at 198. It did pull back there and it is basing out and trying to curl back up. So that is WIF, and that is our crypto report right there. And again, not looking too bad. Might have a little more pullback on Bitcoin, but not gonna like crash down. I don't think so. And then the rest of them are kind of basing out down there and looking a little bit better. What's popping this morning? Let's see what else is popping here. CMND, that one's up big time this morning. Clear Mind Medicine, we were definitely looking at that before. BAOS, this one ran up over 100%. And that ATNF, that 180 Life Sciences, has run up a little bit there. So them get bad boys. And then that CREV and LAES that we went through, SVMH is trying to run up. And that SLXN, remember we were looking at this. And that one's run up there, and this is that biotech company in Israel. So that's at SLXN. We were definitely looking at this the other day, and it did run up. I remember on the 19th. So it ran last week, and it ran up to that 590, 232 to 590, and it does look like it might be trying to set back up. So we'll keep an eye on that bad boy right there. Let me see what's going on this side right here. SVMH. Remember, we were looking at that bad boy, and it was down at 2 cents. It's at 3 right now, and it does finally look like it's getting moving. So we were a little early on it, but it did run up today there. So if you had it 3 cents to 7, it's back at 3. So if you had it down here at the twos when we were looking at it, and you were definitely money right there, or even in the threes, the lower two, the high twos, lower threes right there, and yeah, it ran up to 7. So that was a nice pop up today, and it does look pretty good still, honestly. So keep an eye on that one. And AVGRs popped up there, and TIVC. We looked at a bunch of these. WeBuy's been jumping around a lot lately. And that RGTI, these things are crazy. They might be trying to run back up there. So I'll look at them computer hardware ones. I'll make that battery list and let you know what's looking good with them bad boys. I'm gonna run through some of them today. Um, that rhyme looks pretty good. It's just a little flat today, so we'll keep an eye on that. And let me see what you guys want to look at on this Christmas Eve. Yeah, rhyme is just a little flat there, but like I said, Nvidia is up, Google, AVGO, and AMD. And Google's up a hair, Meta and Amazon, Tesla's up, Microsoft is down, and now Apple is down 7 cents. So it's just up 8 cents. It's down, but it does look like it wants to curl up at that top and get cruising there. So we will keep an eye on that Apple. And let me see what you guys want to look at real quick. And Merry Christmas, Luis Rodriguez. I hope you have a great one and everybody has a great Christmas and holiday season here. And IVDA, let's look at that one real quick. For Brandon, let's see, Brandon, IVDA. Let me X out of these other ones I had open up because they always messed me up there. IVDA, here we go. And this one, it ran up yesterday, 317 to 448. It closed at 374. It's just at 372. It's more flat than anything right there, to be honest with you. And what did I say? It's at 372. So it's up here. It's above. It's above the 20 and probably not looking bad. It's not set up on the FinViz. I can see it on mine, which is perfect. And but yeah, just a little pullback. It doesn't look like anything crazy right there, Brandon. So that's all it looks like to me. I'll keep an eye on it for you, IVDA. I'll jot it down real quick. IVD, I'll look at it in a little bit and see. But yeah, it's just sitting there at that 372 flat. Looks like just a little healthy pullback, nothing crazy. So there you go. Joseph J wants to see a few. Let me look at these bad boys. SSFHG. SFHG, Sam Fine Creation. And that one's curling up really nice right there. That's a good find, I'd say. We never looked at this, but I'd say it's one to keep an eye on for sure. It's down at 92. It went from 81 to 93, and it's at 892 right now. And it does look good. It's curling up, making that curl up now. So, and it never even got into the basement. It's fairly new too. It opened up, it appears on October 15th, and it's a Hong Kong company. It took a major dip on December 11th, and now it looks like it's setting up. It went from the top down to the bottom, and now it's rolling back up. That one does look pretty solid for a new one right there. SFHG. I have to say, I kind of like that one right there, Joseph. And that GITS, we did go through it. And like I said, the charts are all crazy. They all look different for me. GITS on my end right here, it says it's at 28 cents, opened at 31, and it's pulling back to the MACD. On FinViz, it does have today's date. It's curling up and going to hit the MACD line. I mean, you're talking about two different charts there, so I'm not exactly sure. I have to look at it. When a couple more, I will, and I'll post out something about it because I know a bunch of people are looking at it, and it's kind of bizarre that it looks like that. So I will take a look at that bad boy and see what it's up to right there, GITS. So I will look at that. And there you go. I would say that's a pretty good pre-market right there. Let me see if anybody else wanted anything. GITS. Oh, I almost missed Pro Studio. Sorry, I almost missed that one. Reli and PBM. Let's see. RELI. That one popped up good yesterday. That would have been a sell right there. I know that. Anytime they spike up like that, I'm out of them. 139 to 511, and it's at 270 now. Today it went from 3 down to 265, 270 at the moment. And yeah, it's kind of pulling back out of the top right there. I'm not saying it can't pop back up, but I always try to get out of them on that initial pop up, especially when they get into the top. That one went from that bottom to the top like that. That's a definite one that you got to get out of because you know it's pulling back pretty heavy the next day, and not so sure it'll get back up as high. And which other one are we saying right there? I forget. PBM, that was it. Um, this one was jumping up the other day, I remember, and now pulling back, and it could. And here's a good example for you for Rally right here. So we'll go through this and explain what Rally just did. Remember PBM on the 19th last Thursday ran up from 169 to 787. The next day it opened at 260, only got up to 584. It's as low as 183, and it closed at 233 that day. So you're talking a major pullback right there. The next day, or the next trading day, was the 23rd. Yesterday, 275 to 315. It closed at 233, and now you're back at 217 for your open, up to 236, and that's where you're at. And it is trying to curl back up, but you've seen that huge spike up and then that pullback, and then you'll have to wait to see if it definitely wants to get set up. PBM appears like it's trying to right here, but we're gonna have to see for rally. And again, it had that major run up. Whenever you see that, just like this one on PBM on that 16th or the 19th, I mean, when it runs up to that 7 something, you got to get out of them bad boys. You can't hang out because $1.69 to 787 is a huge run, and you know you're not going to see it run up again. And that's the problem with some of these penny stocks and smaller caps. It's so hard to see where the sell is, but that's why I say as soon as they run up, you just have to get out of them. They're so hard to tell where the top is. I can't even tell. It's easy to tell now and after the fact, but why it's going on, they're just spiking up and running. You can't tell that they're going to spike up to $7 and come down. Even if you sell the whole thing at 5 or 6 as it's going up there and it still goes to 7, who cares? You still ran it from way down here, assuming that you probably bought it under $2 because on the 18th it was at 174, 178 was its high, and then the next day it opened at 208. So you got in right at that bottom, or even at 2, and sold it at 5 or 6. That's a major pop right there. So That's the things that you really have to look at and really focus on trading smart. So that's why we discuss that all the time because it is so important. Again, I tell you, as soon as they run up, the penny stocks, I would get out of them, and it's the only way I figured out that's how you made your profits really big. I made it a rule if they ran 100%, I was getting out of most of the position and I would see if it would run up some more. Again, you just can't tell if they're running as they're running 100% and hitting that spot. Sometimes that's where they're really running. So as I say, sometimes you squeeze a little bit more and all of a sudden it's up 120, 130% as you're trying to sell it. And yeah, you let it run up and then you sell it right there. And I say that would be a big bonus. So that's like a 30% bonus to me. And then if it ran, like I told, I seen the FFIE run the 8,000 over 8,000%. And and I even held on 100%. I held on because it blasted through that like it wasn't even there, and it did the 8,000 in 10 days. So it did 100% like nothing. It got to 2,000%, and I was like, wow, I gotta like really lock in the profits here. Like this is crazy. I can't imagine it. Still looks great, but I can't imagine this thing still wants to go. It just takes one dip and this thing's over. And I'm talking 2,000% profit in a few days. I'm like, this is insane. So yeah, I did my 80/20. I kept some because it still looked pretty good. And I was like, well, we'll take 20% of my position up and we'll see what happens. And obviously it ran, what, another 6,000%. And you just don't see that every day. We haven't seen one since, and we probably won't see one again. That thing was insane. I don't even know why it ran like that, to be honest with you. And yeah, it was just one of them unicorns that you see. So you can't expect them all to run. You can't even expect them all to run 100%, but we have been squeezing them pretty big. But yeah, just yeah, bud, hold on. I'll be up in a minute. Cool. Thank you. All right, shut that door, please. My little guy, everyone's up and excited for Christmas Eve here. But yeah, so you just got to lock in those profits as they are going up because you just can't tell. And just an example with PBM ran up there and now it's back and it is setting back up. But that's exactly what Rowie is looking at like. And just trying to give you a little insight there, Pro Studio, because we do talk a lot about trading smart and the mindset of it. And I honestly say, all the time. I used to say this almost every day. You can pick all the 100%ers you want, but if you don't trade them smart, they're useless. And I've seen it happen a million times. Trust me, I've watched them run up over hundreds of percent and then come back lower than your buy-in price within 15 minutes. And that's kind of why I stopped with the penny stocks. And again, it's a totally different market. You got to be up at 4 a.m. These things are popping up early in the morning, and I'm just not getting up at 4 a.m. to trade. So that's why I pivoted and the market changed. So I changed with it. And again, we always stay ahead of trends. We always know what's going on. And you just have to make the trading style work for your lifestyle. And everybody's life is a little bit different. That's why we go through so many stock tickers. As you can see, so many people want to look at so many different ones for different reasons. And that's why we break them all down. And I just tell you where, the good spots are, what's running, what's popping, what's not. And like I say, I don't even really I go through the scanners on here. I don't really even go through my scanners as much anymore. I use the Trend Spider for the charts. Obviously, they're amazing. And yeah, my scanners are amazing, but we just see everything between everybody just sending them in. It's just insane. We have every single angle covered all the time. We know all the trends. We know what's going on. And I just sit here and just go through them and enjoy it. And everybody seems to enjoy it. And we have fun together. So yeah, 2025, I think it's going to be crazy. Again, we're going to see some dipping. So I just want to have everybody prepared and make sure you're ready with some cash. So don't be getting crazy and throwing all your cash in. Make sure you have cash on the side for when these things are pulling back. You always do. You always want them opportunities. So you don't always want to be fully in. And honestly, just look at people like Warren Buffett. They got stacks of cash on the side for a reason. These guys know what's going on, and you can see it. I'm telling you, it's gonna pop up. It's in a bullish channel, but it's gonna come back down, and it'll come back down relatively fast. Like real quick. It'll just get red and get ugly, and boom, it'll be pulling back. So that's why you want to be positioned and ready for it and not have a million positions and be trading smart and be paying attention to these things. So that's why we always go through that. And I just wanted to discuss that rally and PBM because it was perfect setups too. I mean, it went through one and the other one was doing exactly what the next one's going to do. So could give you a little quick breakdown. It usually happens like that. We discuss something and then a stock or two later that we look at is a perfect setup and example for the one that we were just talking about. So there you go with that. And yeah, just that mindset. And again, these things get up into that top when they get over that 70 RSI, and that's what I'm talking about. And this is at 67, so it just pulled back out. But your top is your 70, and then your basement's your 30. So when I'm saying your basement and your tops, that's where I'm talking about. And again, I look at MACD, RSI, that's all I look at. But I also look at the pattern of the chart for a good solid 6 months generally. The FinViz, I have it set up. It's going back as far as May. So May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. I'm looking at all them months and I can tell you what's going to happen. And then with the trend spider, it just goes back as far like I'm in August. So yeah, I usually have it blown up just so I can see it, but then I scroll out. I already know what the setup is, and that's why I look at the two charts. And if you look at the live shows, I post them up. You can see what I do. I look at FinViz, I just look at the setup real quick. And again, the pricing and stuff isn't as accurate because it's all over the place with the pre-markets and after hours, so I can't get a good gauge on it, but I'll know exactly where the setup should be, and then I can click on my trend spider, and if the price is around the same price, I know, or ballpark, I know trend spider is going to be right, and then I can easily see the setup within a second as soon as I click on. But with the trend spider, I just know what it's going to do. So I do use both of them, but again, I was just used to use basically FinViz and stock charts, and I don't even use stock charts anymore, and even the FinViz is not as accurate, but it just shows me the setup. So I do have it, and I do have the Elite, so I pay for the service. So it's supposed to be up to date, but again, with the pre-market starting at 4 a.m. with Webull, this thing is just way behind. This thing picks up at like 7 a.m. and by that point, it's almost like an entire day had went through. Same thing at night in the after hours. This thing just doesn't keep up with it, and it's like an entire day goes by again. So it's almost missing 2 days a day. It's almost like 3 days of trading now. You get your 4 a.m. to basically like 7 almost when we're on. It could be even more, but we'll see 4 a.m. to say your whole pre-market, 4 a.m. to 9:30, and then 9:30 the market's to 4, and then after that from 4 to 8, it's like a whole nother world. And now you have 24 hours, and people are talking about they're trading at 1:30 in the morning. They're trading these big stocks. So you got these things running all around the clock now. It's crazy, and you really have to be up on it. So when you're trading these penny ones or these little smaller caps, you really have to be careful because these are very volatile, and people are trading stuff at night now. I don't think they're trading these penny ones yet at night, but I'm sure it'll get to that point. And they'll be trading stocks like they're trading crypto. And again, crypto is wild because it does. It trades 24/7, 365. It's all around the clock. And Christmas morning, tomorrow morning, you could hop on there and be trading and making money. So I've definitely monitor everything and I see it. I won't be trading on Christmas by no means, but yeah, there'll be people trading on Christmas, trust me. There'll be volume going on and there's international markets are happening. So yeah, you have to know it's we have to know the whole market and that's why we cover all this stuff as well, not just go over the stocks, but and again, we don't even talk about news. We don't really care much about anything that's going on with the stock. We see it way before it's even going to happen and by the time the news hits, it's pointless to us because we're already popped up 100% or wherever we're at, and we're looking to get out and sell that news. Whereas people that are fundamentals, they're looking for news, and we're just so early on them. They won't even catch us. They can never do what we're doing. So. Again, the stock charts just tell you everything. You guys know that. I mean, you guys hang out and see what we do. You guys know. Good morning, Barbara, and Merry Christmas Eve. We'll take a look at these few for you right there. MGOL. Let's see what that one's doing this morning. I know we looked at that last night. I remember, wasn't it pulling back? Yeah, it had that big dip right there. I'll say it. Let's take a look at it and see if it wants to pop up last night. What's it do? I think that bottom could be that 34 cents. It's at 45 right now. I don't know if I'd be jumping in it today on Christmas Eve, to be honest with you, because you just don't know. We're closed tomorrow and then Thursday. I don't think it's going to just pop up, but I mean, you just never know with it. But I don't know if I'd care to miss it if it did. MGOL, like I said, you got to be careful. The market closes at 1 today, close tomorrow, and then, anything can happen over holiday season. So I always just try to just be careful with that stuff. Obviously, your big caps are going to be a little safer, but some of these smaller ones, you'll see the market closes for a day and it opens up and you're like, what the heck's even happening here? So just be careful with that. B hat, let's look at that one right here. This one was setting up. It ran up yesterday, 12 to 14. It's at 13 right now, and it just has to get up into the higher 13s and it'll look good. That one just a little pullback, like healthy pullback, but nothing crazy. Should be still setting up right there for that one. SYTA. This one is just a little flat right here, but it is getting in the right spot right there, SYTA. And yeah, it did try to jump up there to that 79. That's basically where it needs to get to really pop off. And it's at 76. So it's right there. And that one's looking pretty decent, I would say. And again, not sure if they're going to run today, being Christmas Eve and an early close. So they could just be a little set up. This rhyme was getting set up. It was down just a hair, like 3% this morning. But I'll telling you what, this thing's looking good. It's just flat this morning. And again, nothing crazy, but they are just a little bit flat. And what it do, 9 to 10, and it's back to 9, and it has over 2 million in volume already. So that is at RIME. And there you go with that bad boy. And let me see, was there anything else on there? And VCIG, this one was looking really good. It's just flat right here. And this one I think's getting curled up as well. Let me see if it's doing anything. It is run up just it's opened at 170 yesterday, closed at 171, so it's down a penny, but it still looks good. It's just curled. It's just a little flat, like I said. They're all just kind of flat right here on a Christmas Eve. So there you go with them, Barbara, and I hope everybody does have a great Merry Christmas. Great advice. There you go, Brandon. I'm glad you had like that advice right there. But yeah, you just have to be careful with these bad boys. And like I said, I've been looking at the charts for over 20 years. I won't say I've been trading them for 20 years, and I've had them in and out times, but I've definitely traded through every single market condition, and I still do it. So and yeah, I did the penny stocks real heavy at one point. I did very well, obviously, and but yeah, it's just not the same. And yeah, you just got to be careful. Before they would start running, they weren't popping up. They would pop up at 7:30 in the morning, like right around 6:50 a.m., right as pre-market was getting set up. You would see them start moving, like on the stock twits. That's when you would start really seeing them. And then yeah, 7 a.m. would come, the pre-market would start, and then these things would start running. And by 9:30 a.m., these things were popping out of their minds and going crazy. And you had like a 10, 15-minute window before to kind of trade them as the market opened. Or you just got rid of them in the pre-market, sold them in the extended hours, and didn't really even care if they pressed your luck. And it did pop up because they were just cruising so much in that 7 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. area. So you were just rocking and rolling through these things, and they were easy. You knew it was running up that day, and it would be down tomorrow. Like it was that simple. It would be down in a little bit. So they were really easy. You would just lock in your profits. And then there was a little time where they were just running for a little while, running around, running around. Then you got to COVID, and then COVID happened, and everything was all crazy. Things were running like animals. They were running for days. There was just money being pumped into the market and everything. It was wild. So COVID happened. It kind of screwed up the entire market. And then you also have a lot of things like that, Robin Hood and Webull and things like that started. They started targeting huge audiences because gambling was out at that point. So that's a big market, and you target that audience and get them into into the penny stocks, which is practically like gambling for some people. And I know a lot of my buddies were doing it, so they jumped into penny stocks, and then they got these things, the regulations. They started changing them, and they started getting people to get trading at like 4 a.m. and things just got crazy. I mean, it got just ridiculously insane. And like I was just saying, we're going to be trading around the clock now. So you have to be very careful, especially with these penny stocks. They just don't run like they used to. They're basically running at 4 a.m. now. And so, yeah, if you're not trading them on Webull at 4 a.m., because that seems to be the only platform that you can really trade at 4 a.m., some of the other ones are obviously doing it now, but Webull seems to be the first one, the biggest one. That's where Laptop Travel trades, and I know a lot of other people early in the morning. There are a few other platforms that do it, but again, Webull seems to be the bigger platform that does it. And yeah, there's just astronomical volume. I don't know if it's international market doing it, but it is just crazy what goes on at 4 a.m. You just can't imagine that much trading is happening. I mean, that one we watched, I'm trying to remember the stock ticker. It'll come to me maybe, but it went from what, $4 to 125 at 4 a.m. and it was done at 4:15. So we've seen some major ones run at that 4 a.m. area. Like it's been crazy. So yeah, we're not talking about the same market. So you really just got to lock in those profits, especially now. Before, I used to be able to kind of see the tops on these pennies, and we would just kind of hit them just below it, at least try to. And sometimes they get sold out just before, and they'd get dumped. But you would try to set it just above, like below that top area, and make sure you could get out. Because again, once the person with the most shares decides to lock in their profits, these things are coming down fast because they generally have big positions there. So they're selling a huge position and then it's over. Like the run's over and it's coming down on you. So you got to get out before that happens, and you don't have to necessarily hit the tops. You almost don't even want to get to the top because it gets rough up in that area. So if you can get there right before the top and get out, I always think that was perfect. So, yeah, just a little experience and mindset of what I've seen. And like I said, I've just been doing it for a while and I've seen all the different markets. And clearly, you guys know I started trading options now. So definitely different, but there you go. Let's just see what the market's doing real quick. And we will wrap it up here. It looks like it's not bad. Or AMD. I see my buddies up there. Having a good old time. Nvidia's up, AVGO and AMD are way up, but Google, Meta, Amazon, Tesla are all up too, and Apple is just barely up. So it's just kind of teetering between being up and down there. But again, it looks like it's trying to curl up there. We'll have to keep an eye. It's flat, but it does look good, and it's up 3 cents now. So we will keep an eye on it. And let's just see what NVIDIA is doing right here. Let's just take a quick look at NVIDIA. It's up 73 cents, and it looks like it wants to continue to roll. AMD, that's up 252. So there we go with that one. And yeah, we're looking pretty solid here, guys. So I would say our semiconductors are looking good. The market's looking pretty solid. And the only one down is Microsoft a little bit, and that one we expected. So, and Coca-Cola for some reason's down. And it's not even down as much as it was earlier, but it is down. So we'll keep an eye on that because that could get set up as well. It's bouncing off that MACD, at least hitting it. So we'll see if it wants to roll off. And there you go, guys. I'd say that's a good Christmas Eve. Let me see. I just missed a couple. MS, hold on. Let me look. X, which is the X Steel, United States Steel. We were looking at this the other day and saying it was probably bottoming out. It tried to run up a little bit yesterday, X Steel. Another one, it probably bottomed out at that 29.20 or 29.22, it looks like, on the 20th the other day. It's at 30.30 right now. These numbers are killing me. 29.22, 30.30. But yeah, it's at 30.30 right now, and it is going to be curling up. It was way down there. That should be its bottom. Even yesterday, it touched down at like 29.75. So down there is going to be your bottom area. And So keep an eye on it because it is curling up. We were looking at it not long ago and saying that dip and it was going to get cruising again. So it is setting up. Good look. And PICK, what's that one? Metals and mining. Wow, good pick right there. I love it. I like that one. I should have this one on our ETF list, but especially for right now, honestly. So good pick. I like it because that is our global metals and mining producers ETF. And I'm telling you, these ones are looking great. And it is trying to come out of the basement right there. And that bottom could have been yesterday or 2 days ago or Friday, sorry. Friday it would have been on 34.79. Yesterday it was trying to move up there. PICK. I like it. Pick. It is going to be a good pick because I'm telling you, these metals and mining ones are getting ready to rock and roll. I was saying that last night, and I will make a list of them and some battery companies and them guys. They're all looking good right there. So that looks like the next wave of the quantum and computer hardware ones that just ripped and went wild. It looks like it's going to be these precious metals and battery guys that are coming up next. So we will be breaking them guys down and getting ready for them be running so we can take advantage of that. So good one on there, PICK. I definitely like that one. I'll keep an eye on it. And boom, there you go, right there. So let me see if I got everything. I think I did. Let me see. Yep, I think I got everything there. So again, you guys have a great Christmas Eve, a Merry Christmas. Enjoy the holidays with your family and all. And we'll be back on Thursday. I'll keep you posted. Let me know if you want to see anything. I'll be around today, just hanging out and doing stuff, looking at the market, seeing what's going on. You know that. And there we go. So yeah, keep it going. Nvidia and AMD, we like that. And let me know what you guys want to get cruising. Oh yeah, I wanted to look at what was it? Oh, I forget what it was. I'll remember in a little bit. For Barber, what was that one we were looking at? It was Elab and the other one. I can't even think of it. It had three letters, and I can't think of it. Elab's down a little bit. I'll come across it. I know it's on the list right here. I just don't see it off right when I'm looking at it. So I'll go through and look at that one too. And there you go, guys. So there you are for our nice Christmas Eve. And again, have a good holiday, everybody. I'll catch you guys later, and let me know if you want to see anything. So have a great Christmas, and I will be on Thursday morning, obviously, for pre-market, and let me know if you guys want to see anything. So goodbye, good luck. I'll see you guys later, and have a great day. Have a great Christmas, everybody.